So take about 3-4 minutes and see what you can do with this proof. And this should tell you guys too, hey, I'm where I need to be, or maybe I need to make an appointment here to come in for some help. Because this is one of the basics right now. This is a basic one. Not bad, not bad. Here's the question you ask. I marked my diagram with all the givens. First segment in the proof statement is AC. Is that a bigger line segment or smaller than the two I gave you? It's bigger. All right, that line segment I'm asking you to prove AC is bigger than the other two. So the only way we get bigger here is addition. You say to yourself, I need 2 pairs to add. I gave you 2 pairs. So in step 2 should be right away AB plus BC equals ED plus CD. Addition. And then we know right after addition usually comes our reflexive, our substitution step. Make sure you wrote substitution. Check your handwriting. Make sure it doesn't say subtraction by accident. Walking around too, I saw a couple people with like an extra reflexive step in there. I don't know if I told you this yesterday or not, but if you have extra steps, as long as they're correct, I don't take off points. Okay, I take them off if they're extra and incorrect. Okay, any issues here? I think some of you, that was a little wake-up call. All right, that was a little bit of a wake-up call. Any questions? Yes, Fiona.
So having the reflexive liquid is fine?
Yeah, you didn't need it, but it's correct. I'm not going to take off for it. Anything else? All right, we are going to add one more fact to our reasons column in addition to the other 5 we have up there. So let's do that. Oh boy, this thing's killing me lately. Go ahead, you can turn to that page. I'll catch up with you here in a minute. Oh. All right, we're going to start talking about right angles. And in a proof, when you need right angles congruent, and how do I do it? First one, hopefully you can mark your diagram appropriately. So go ahead, we got a couple right angles working here. So I will give you guys a minute. Mark your diagram appropriately. And write in your givens and we'll talk. I don't care how you write in your givens on your notes or homework, but test and quiz time, please write them all in. I don't care what you do to show that here, but test or quiz, got to write them all in. All right, real quick. Hopefully we had a right angle right here at ACB because it said it was a right angle. That's ACB up there, kids. So make sure we had a right angle there. What's that symbol between the CD and line segment AB? Just to remind me here, Maddie, what's that symbol? Perpendicular. And what are you guys thinking when you hear the word perpendicular, Fiona?
90 degrees.
90 degrees, right? Yep. So where CD and AB meet, I have a right angle on both sides. You don't need to put one, but we know it's happening on both sides. So there's my diagram completely marked up. Now let's look at the proof statement. I want to know why ACB and ADC are congruent to each other. So look at the first angle. I'll ask somebody here, 10. Sophia, what do you know about angle ACB?
It's a right angle.
It's a right angle. Good call. And the other angle up there, Sophia, what do you know about angle ADC? It's also a right angle. So guys, doesn't that make sense that they have to be congruent because they're both right angles? Let me say that again. They're both congruent because they are. Okay, I got a problem with that though. You are telling me with your mouth that they're both right angles. You are showing me on the diagram that they're both right angles. I don't correct your diagram though. You know what I correct on a test or quiz? Statements and reasons. So tell me again why they're congruent. Because they're both. But you only told me one was a right angle. All right, everyone see that? In your statements, where it counts, you only told me one of them was a right angle. Have you told me the other one was a right angle? No, so you can't tell me they're congruent yet. You can tell me they're congruent when you have told me in your statements that they're both right angles. I only have one labeled up there. I need the other one to be a right angle. All right, so that is going to be statement number 2. Angle, the other one, ADC, is a right angle. They can't be congruent until you tell me they're both right angles. Don't come up with a new reason. We have used this reason already. It was on the first day. First day. You will not find it up there, though. This is one of the reasons I don't give you. We did use it on the first day. What up here made you put that box? Think about it that way. What up there on this proof made you put that box? Sully?
Definition of perpendicular.
Okay, I'll take that. I'm totally all right with definition of perpendicular. This is what I wrote with you guys on Monday. Perpendicular lines do what? Form right angles. Yep. So I'm going to keep using that. But Sully, again, use it. I'm not going to take off. Have you written down that they're both right angles now? Now you can tell me they're congruent. Okay, but you can't tell me 2 right angles are congruent unless you tell me they're actually right angles. So now you can tell me angle ACB congruent to angle ADC. And using now our new theorem fact that you can now use in the reasons column, which is all right angles are congruent. And before I move on, does everyone see my point? Don't tell me they're congruent unless you've told me in the statements that they are right angles. I don't care. I don't grade your diagram. Here's what I grade. Well, I did tell you. It's right here. No, you didn't. It's got to be here, though. This is where it counts. Questions on that first one? Telling me they're right angles before telling me they're equal. All right, buckle up for this next one. This is probably the toughest one we've done so far. All right, buckle up. This is not an honors level one either. I gave this one to my ABs today too. So mark your diagram with wherever the heck you got to mark. I am beyond worried if you guys can find the angle or not. If you can't, hopefully you're going to come in for extra help. If you can't mark a diagram. All right, can we check our markings, please, and fix them if they need to be fixed? We should have right angles at angle ABD and FGD because of the perpendicular lines. Okay, we should have right angles there because the lines are perpendicular, and we should have arc marks at angle ABC and angle FGE. Any questions with the diagram before we tackle this beast? Look at the proof statement. Find those angles that I'm asking you to show me why they're. Don't mark them, obviously, because it's not true. That's our job to get that true. So we're looking for DBC, that bad boy right there, and DGE, that one right there. Why are those congruent? I don't have that many possibilities. First of all, the two angles we're trying to prove congruent, are they right angles? The two angles I'm asking you to prove congruent, are they right angles? Listen to my question, please, because I got some people saying no and some people saying yes. The two angles in the proof statement, are those 90-degree right angles? No, they are not right angles. So it's not going to be like the last one, where you say right angles are congruent because they're not right angles. All right, so hey, here are my options. That's all I got for you. Don't start making up your own. First of all, I'm going to eliminate this one pretty quickly. Why? Any mention of bisector or midpoint? Nope, so that's out. And realistically, it's probably not going to be a two-step proof substitution, right? So what are my main hitters here? Subtraction and addition. All right, let's narrow that down. It's probably going to be addition or subtraction. And the way we figure that out is bigger or smaller, right? Bigger or smaller. Everyone's got a right angle symbol on the diagram, right? 90 degrees. Are these two angles smaller than 90 or bigger? These two angles we're trying to prove here, is it smaller or bigger than the 90?
Smaller.
Guess what we're going to end up doing? Subtraction. This is going to be subtraction. But in a little bit different. It's a little bit different than the subtraction we've done. I'm going to ask my same question, though. How many pairs do you need?
Two.
Two. How many congruent pairs were given?
Two.
Where?
One.
Only one, right? Right here. That's your only congruent pair, but you told me how many do I need? Two. So where is the other one then? What am I subtracting here, right? Usually, it's been a reflexive pair. All along, if I needed one more pair to add or subtract, it's been a reflexive pair. Until now. This is where we up the level of the proofs. It is no longer a reflexive pair. Can you please focus on this side of the diagram first? What would you need to subtract to get to angle DBC that I marked with that yellow dot? What two angles do you need to subtract from each other to get to that yellow angle there? Ryan? So you're telling me take the right angle and subtract the one I have. Is that what everyone agrees with, right? Take the right angle and subtract out this one. All right. Can anybody tell me on this side of the diagram, how do I get that yellow dot DGE? What two angles do I need to subtract over there? Go ahead, Max.
DGF minus FGD, whatever it's called, minus EGF.
Again, the right angle minus EGF. Everyone agrees. Wait, you told me how many pairs do I have? I already have ABC and FGE. What don't I have congruent yet? That both of these got, who was it again? Both of these guys mentioned. They said this minus this minus this. Well, I already have ABC and FGE. Julia, what don't I have?
FGD and
BAD is down here. You sure you meant which angles? You said FGD?
Yeah.
Yep, and not BAD, but ABD. I don't have the right angles yet, do I? Both of these guys told me take the right angles minus the smaller ones, right? I have the smaller ones congruent. What don't I have congruent yet? The right angles. See that? I need the right angles congruent, and that'll give me my second pair to subtract. Everyone see that? We good there. So I need the right angles congruent, and we're going to do that the same way we did up above. Why are they congruent? Because they're what? The right angle. Oh, you're telling me, you're speaking to me that it's on your diagram, but where is it not? In the statements. So you need to tell me angle ABD and angle FGD are right angles. Do not tell me they're congruent unless you have written down that they are right angles. And it's going to be this, you want to use Sully's definition of perpendicular lines, I'm fine. You want to use my perpendicular lines form right angles. It's the same reason every time you tell me they're right angles. And if they're right angles, what are we telling about them today? What's our new fact? If they're right angles, they must be congruent to each other. And guess what? Hey, look what you're writing down right now. The missing pair. Aren't you? Yes? You're writing down the missing pair that I needed to subtract. Angle ABD congruent to angle FGD. Now we have two pairs. And what's my reason for those two angles to be congruent? Because they're what? All right angles are congruent. Now you have how many pair written down? 2, and you can subtract now. I just need to know what pairs and what order you're going to subtract them. So go to one side of the diagram again. I know Julia already said this, but I want to hear from other people. Name 2 angles you want to subtract to get to the proof statement. Sully, you're up. Angle.
Angle.
Start with one of the right angles.
ABD.
And what do I need to subtract from ABD to get?
ABC.
Good job, ABC. And that's going to be equal to, name the other pair I'm going to subtract to get these angles. 1, 2. Julia, what's the other pair?
Angle FGD minus angle FG.
Good. Do I need to ask somebody? What am I doing here? What am I doing? Subtraction, right? Are you writing subtraction or are you writing substitution? And then you guys know what comes right after a subtraction or addition? Automatic substitution. Questions? So hey, it was subtraction because we were getting smaller, But our missing pair was actually the right angles instead of a reflexive pair. All right, so that was the little catch there. Still doing subtraction, still needed two pair, but the missing pair was no longer a reflexive pair. It was the right angles. Any questions from you guys? I'm going to skip over 3 because at the end of class, you guys are going to show me how you do number 3 because that's a total review one. So I need to go to number 4 with you right now. Number 4 to end class. Before you get ahead of me, I'm doing number 4 because it is different directions. Yes, I'm given information, but hey, before you guys get going, I see you guys doing 2 columns on me. Find. Doesn't say prove, does it? Find. So if it says find, it's an algebra problem. No statements, reasons needed. Just get the job done. All right? Find just means find the degree measures. All right? I don't need a statements or reasons or anything. But yes, still mark your diagram. You should have a right angle symbol up here and 89 degrees plugged in for the correct angle. But I do not need statements, reasons when it says find. So read carefully. This is just getting after it, crunching some numbers. I'm hoping you put a right angle symbol where RST and SQ meet. You can put them on both sides. Doesn't matter. I just need one. And then hopefully plug in 89 degrees right here. All right, first one up. What is the measure of angle RSQ? RSQ. So take a look at your diagram, the knowledge you have from this year. How many degrees are in RSQ? All right, Sakura, what do you think over there?
90 degrees.
Good job, 90. All right, now there's something probably you're not familiar with. Everyone see in bold there? Justify your answers. What that means is I need a sentence, not a DBQ, not an essay. I need a sentence, how you know it's 90. And I am not looking for something exact like you would put in the reasons column. Anything that gets the job done that says this is why I put 90 and no other number. All right, whatever you want to write there. Anybody want to run by some stuff you could put? I'll give it to Sully. Quick approval. Go ahead.
Line RST is perpendicular to line segment or ray SQ.
Perfect. Others. Sophia.
Perpendicular lines form right.
Perfect. Others.
Can you just put like right angles or 90 degrees?
How'd you know it was a right angle though?
Oh.
Right? Okay. I would accept that too because you marked your diagram with that. I would accept that too. But what I'm saying, guys, is I'm very flexible with the justification. I don't need something that's over up on the board. All right? Just prove to me why did you put 90? All right, next up, I got measure of angle QST. QST for me. How many degrees are in QST? Choom, Riley.
90.
Also 90, and I'm not going to ask anybody here, but you could pretty much use whatever justification you use for part A. Perpendicular lines form right angles. Those two lines are perpendicular. Right angles equal 90. And then the final one here I'm going to ask for is how about the measure of angle TSU? No more 90, unfortunately. Angle TSU. That is not 90. TSU. Isabella? 91. Yep. And anybody want to throw a Y at me? Why didn't you say 180? Why didn't you say 90? Why didn't you say 89? Why the 91? Go ahead there, Assad.
Linear pairs are supplementary.
Fine, linear pairs are supplementary. Anybody want to straight angles equal 180? Maddie?
Wait, can you show work for justification?
No, okay, Rhett. Justification, I want something in words.
Okay.
Okay, I want something in words. Yep, good. Yep. That, if you see that or explain, that's what I want. Okay, something in words.
Can we abbreviate like supplementary?
SUPP. I've done it up here, so you can do it as well. Yep. Anything I do is fair game for you guys. All right, everyone good? So when you see that on the homework this weekend, I do need a little one sentence, no more than that. Tells me how you know what the answer is. All right, let's go back to number 3. I could have given you number 3 on last night's homework, and you could have done it easily. I know it. Hey, I know it's right angle day. Does anybody see this perpendicular symbol? Me neither. Anybody see any mention of a right angle? No, so don't force it. This is not a right angle problem at all. This is something we've done yesterday. So when you're done, you're going to call me over. I'm going to check it, and I'll let you go to the assignment for tonight. All right, but I want to check it first before you move on. And hopefully you guys see a little, some vocab in there in the givens that signals how this should end.